For decades, the medical conversation surrounding menopause and hormone replacement therapy, or HRT, was driven by fear. But the FDA completely reversed course, lifting its highest level warning on all estrogen products just 6 months ago. That is now causing a shortage. I sat down with a Mayo Clinic menopause specialist to figure out what this major shift means. So the FDA lifted the black box warning off of estrogen patches, and now there seems to be a shortage. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So a black box warning is a serious warning placed by the FDA, the US FDA, on any medication, which is warning the prescribers of serious health effects that can be associated with that drug. These could include cardiovascular disease, these could include risk of stroke, could include a risk of death.
That high-stakes warning was placed on estrogen back in 2002 after the landmark Women's Health Initiative trial linked hormone therapy to increased health risks. But doctors say the data carried a massive fundamental flaw: the age of the women being studied.
Age is an important risk factor for these conditions. The average age of the woman in the WHI trial was 63 years.
And that's not when you start hormone therapy.
Precisely.
Yes.
Precisely. That, I think, is the crux of the matter. The average woman who is seeking treatment for menopause symptoms and is in the offices of prescribers and is seeking hormone therapy is a woman in her late 40s, early 50s. So that was the big flaw, if you will, in the study, which led to the results that we did see. The timing of starting hormone therapy is the most important determinant of what the outcomes will be. So the medical community was coming to an agreement that when hormone therapy was started in those first 10 years after menopause, it led to more benefits than risks in the average woman. But you don't want to be starting it in the 60s and 70s.
What if a woman who is doing HRT can't get that and they try to stretch out? Let's say they're on the patch, so they try to stretch that out because they're waiting for the supply to come back.
Yeah, that can be problematic. Depending upon the extent to which the person is dependent on estrogen, if you really stagger out their dosing, they may get symptoms when their estrogen levels wane off. Yeah. What we have done in our practice is that we have tried switching patients to different formulations. So if somebody's on a twice weekly patch, we've tried to switch them to a once weekly patch or switch them to a gel. There are preparations that are not as commonly used otherwise, so we've tried to switch people to those.
No, why don't we talk about that? Some of the symptoms that maybe some women don't realize that they are in menopause.
Majority of women who actually have sleep disturbances during the menopause transition, believe it or not, are not having hot flashes and night sweats. So these are occurring independently of hot flashes and night sweats. Why is that important? That's very important, A, for recognition, because then we should not be dismissing it that this is not a menopause phenomenon. B, treatment. Women who tend to experience sleep difficulties outside of hot flashes and night sweats do not respond as well to hormone therapy. Some of the other ones that we have become aware in the recent years that are due to menopause include joint pains. So this is not just one joint hurting here and there. These are like diffuse, deep joint pains, muscle pains, fatigue, physical and mental exhaustion, sexual dysfunction. These are all symptoms that can be associated with menopause.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Get the right information, get empowered, and know your options, and then explore those options with people who know what they're talking about, who are evidence-based, with shared decision-making. So we have to be in today's day and age, and this applies not just to medical care, I think to everything in life these days. We have to know where we get our information from.
Hormone therapy can be a very effective treatment for some women who are experiencing menopause symptoms, but it is not a one-size-fits-all solution. The recommendation is to talk with your healthcare provider about your symptoms, your medical history, and whether hormone therapy is right for you.